What is going on, guys? Today's video is something new. Well, new-ish, I guess. I finally have a proper ramp set up, and over the last couple weeks we've been building a nice run up for it, getting a decent landing going, and I'm gonna try to go after this whole best whip thing. Obviously, that's kind of what I'm known for, but I've been doing it off of dirt, even though I still prefer dirt. I needed to get a little bit of time on a ramp, and a proper ramp. I had a ramp last year, but the dimensions for it were completely whacked out and it was almost unrideable at the standard 75 feet. So I have a proper ramp here. Shout out to my buddy Hunter Olson for helping out with that. A good enough setup, so I'm gonna try to go after this whole best whip thing. I'm gonna try and make it into the X Games here. I was notified I'm on like the backup, like we'll call you list, but I feel like I need to go out and just straight up earn my way in, and I don't want to be in there unless I am able to compete for a win. I wanted to document it so you guys can, you know, join along on the journey and watch the progression. I'm not super into riding ramps at all either. I don't know, it feels super freestyle to me, but it's what I got to do. Fun, but they're not, it's just not something that I myself is what I would consider like a free ride. And obviously an ex-professional racer, I prefer the dirt. I like the natural hits. I just like feeling not freestyle, if that makes sense. But we're gonna go after this. Just gonna do it because it's on the bucket list of things to do. I think it would be really, really cool to get in and try to compete for a win. I will be riding the Stark as well. The Stark is absolutely unbelievable for whips, but I will get into that later. With that being said, I'm gonna take you guys along on this journey for the next month or two and see where we can go with this.
All right, it's the next day. We got a nice ramp set up here. Got a little bit of rain, so the dirt's really good right now. Done a couple little test runs and stuff up to it, but I think we're gonna give this thing a shot. The landing could for sure be steeper, and it's set right on the nose at 75 feet to the knuckle, so it's like 77 to the sweet spot, which I believe some people do that. Some people do 73 feet to the knuckle and then 75 to the sweet spot. But like with this bike, I have so much torque that I'm always going like too far, so I'd rather have it a little bit safer. Bit of a hard landing on that one, a little long. Oh. Once I figure out how to get the flick off of the ramp like I can do on dirt, I feel like I'm gonna be probably tossing some of the biggest whips. I just really need to figure it out. I'm so used to the rear wheel sliding a tiny bit, and with all this traction, it's a little difficult to figure out. That was all right, but like, all right, I'm gonna take you guys for a lap on the moto track. I guess what I would call the moto track. Yeah, this section's sick. It's actually pretty fun for being like a makeshift track. It's definitely not gonna run up unless I till it, but all right, let's see if I remember how to hit this thing. It's the next day. Honestly, I just got kind of tired of hitting that ramp over and over again, and it was getting kind of rutted, so I figured I'd come back out today and give it another shot. I kind of want to try learning some new style of whips too. Obviously I can do turn-ups and I can do like the seat bounce whips, but I don't even know what they call them, but they do these whips that are like, they literally just like turn around and do a 180. I don't really think they look that good, but I feel like you should at least learn how to do like a basic one. I'm assuming it's probably all in the head movement. Okay, so I definitely have to carve harder. Otherwise, what will happen is I'll bring the bike back too far. I don't know how to explain it. Like I'd over whip it, essentially. See, I grabbed the clutch there. I screwed up. I grabbed the clutch out of muscle memory to brake tap. Nothing there. See, it's getting all chopped out. Just because it's so soft still. The more I work it, the harder it's gonna get. Gotta remember to turn the head. I keep forgetting what I'm doing. That one was sick, but I didn't turn the head. I'm starting to figure it out. Not bad. What about around 23 minutes? So that should title this video, how to learn how to whip in 20 minutes. Not bad, honestly. I'll try a turn up again. I can't really do turn ups on the Varg. I don't know. I really prefer the 450 for them. It's just something about the torque, it just throws it off. Yeah, I don't know. I prefer doing it over like something like this, or like a nice fat step up. That plus a 450 is like just money.
So that is it for today's video. It's been pretty fun trying to learn this ramp, and coming from, like I said earlier, a racer background. I don't really ride ramps. I like the big natural hits. I like the big dirt jumps. But if I'm gonna chase this, I need to ride a proper ramp. As you can probably tell in the video, the run up gets a little rutted, gets a little choppy, especially underneath this like conveyor belt that I have set up here. Don't judge the shoe choice, by the way. They're super comfy. It gets a little not sketchy, but it's like inconsistent compared to all these other dudes out in SoCal. They have like a lot more consistent setups. Their landings are a little bit bigger. As you saw in the video as well, this landing isn't the greatest. It's still pretty soft. It's a little small, but I'm learning. I'm working on it. Cool with it. I'm just gonna keep going for it, especially on the Stark. Like I said earlier, the Stark is unbelievable for whips. Probably the best bike. It's unbelievable. Mostly because you don't really have like a limiter. You can just crack the throttle. I have the regen braking all the way down to 0, so it freewheels as well. The rear wheel, you can get it to spin so fast that you can get this bike like literally inverted, crack the throttle, and it comes right back, no problems at all. So really, it's just kind of up to me as a rider now to get used to that feeling of getting that extra like 10 to 15% out of the whip compared to a 450, because I don't think like you can't really get a 450 inverted. You can get it upside down. You can't get it past that without like basically risking the biggest endo of your life. But for those who are wondering, that's why I am riding the Stark so much. It's just so much easier to whip. Still like my 450. I still ride that a ton. Different bikes for different situations, but mainly for whipping, the Stark is unbelievable. Hopefully we can get to a point where X Games will consider at least having me out for practice. Like I said earlier, I'm on like the we'll call you list. Like you're like a backup. I guess they already have their 8 or whatever. I don't really even know how it works, but on the backup list, and I want to make sure that I am the backup guy at the very least. So if I can't get in, I want to at least be able to possibly come out and just ride practice or something like that. So I want to make sure that I'm ready if the opportunity comes, and I want to take you guys on the journey with me. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. I hate saying that because everybody says that, but comment down below what you guys thought of this video. But until next time, I will catch you guys later.